Hello, my name is David, and today with me I have
Nick.
Andrew.
And today, guys, I want to talk about alcohol-related incidents, or rather, how the Army should impose a new policy to curb these alcoholic incidents in order to minimize them around the globe. Now, this policy that I'm talking about is banning all alcohol consumption and presence in overseas and stateside bases. Now, alcohol-related incidents are tremendous in the Army. For instance, we have a lot of DUIs, we have a lot of sexual assault. Now, mind you, sexual assault is not a product of alcohol. Alcohol has been known to be a factor in the majority of these cases. We also have underage drinking. Now, underage drinking in the Army is a big thing. Just because you join the Army, many believe that it is their right to drink because they're servicing the country. But federal law states you cannot drink unless you're 21. And the Army tries to curb this by giving us briefings and so forth. Well, my proposition for the Army to impose this policy of having no alcohol in the barracks or anywhere on post will completely eliminate underage drinking here. I would say about 80%.
All right, how would you go about enforcing that?
Well, one of the ways that we can enforce this policy is by having our senior leadership come around the barracks and doing, room checks. You could do it maybe once a day. Well, that would be a little bit too much. That's if, you have a lot of incidents. But I would say maybe 3 times a week. We'll have, the senior leadership or the squad leaders, team leaders, whatnot, come to everybody's room, check the room, to see not only if it's clean, but that they're actually enforcing the standards, which is no alcohol and so forth.
Okay, so I heard you say earlier in your speech you were like younger people that were under 21.
Right.
Are you talking about people? What about people over 21? Are they good to drink here in the barracks? Or is it just everybody just flat out cannot drink?
I would say everybody flat out cannot drink.
Okay.
People who are over 21 have been known when they're drunk to give alcohol to underage people, and that would lead to serious incidents.
So you're talking about the entire barracks?
The entire barracks.
Anybody that lives on this installation
will have no alcohol.
Now, how would you go about enforcing that with the people that live on post housing, like married couples?
What about the older people that are married and have been here for a while?
They're like 45 years old, they're sergeant majors.
Unfortunately, everybody has, in order for us to set the standards are set from above. If they cannot drink, nobody down here can drink. It rolls downhill. And that sets the professionalism standard that we as soldiers should have. We go out there, we are professionals. Because what we do is industrial and so forth. But I would say nobody on base can drink. Now, moving forward, professionalism is a very big, strong word because we have bases overseas. We have Germany, Korea, we have Hawaii, we have Italy, and so forth. And a lot of these things that we hear from people who come overseas is how much they drank, how much they party, but what they don't tell you is about all these incidents that happen, which outnumber the good times. And when these things happen overseas, people overseas, the local nationals, look at us like, these are drunken buffoons. Now, I came from Korea, and when I was there was a lot of establishments that would not allow U.S. service members to enter and drink because there was incidents and because they know us as not able to, hold our alcohol. Now, just recently, there were a couple of incidents that happened where Korea's second ID completely banned alcohol use in one of their installations. And this is why I think, it should be everywhere. Because, these incidents resulted in some of the service members being stabbed, a couple of service members hurt, some of the local nationals were hurt. I think 1 or 2 were, sexually assaulted. And because of this, the general got mad and imposed this policy on the second ID regiment. Now they can't drink alcohol for a while. Their 2 day, I mean the 3 days and 4 days are completely banned, and there is no alcohol in any installation.
Is that like a permanent thing, or is that just temporary because of the issues that have come up lately?
That right now is temporary. Permanent is, they can't stay out. One of the permanent rules they have overseas is that they can't stay out past a certain time, usually
Okay.
12 or 1 o'clock. But due to these incidents, or rather that policy not being effective, no alcohol consumption has now been in place. Now, it is ongoing. There is no set date when it's gonna, when it's gonna be over. But from here on out, you can't drink alcohol until told otherwise.
Now, is that policy working? Like, is there an improvement on the number of cases or incidents that happened, and has the number diminished at all?
Based on a lot of reports that I've read, it has diminished quite substantially on the incidents that have happened overseas. Now, there is, a lot of times where people will go to little hidden areas and drink, and that's fine, but that's on them. The moment they get caught, their career is over. Like, nobody can tell you, nobody's gonna stop you if you go outside and go and drink. No one's gonna stop you. No one can stop you. No one can tell you, hey, don't drink. But once you get into an altercation or an incident occurs, that is your career. And I believe that by posting this zero tolerance policy, people, when they go out and drink, will think about, I drink this and I get into an altercation, that's my career. How many people would actually go out there and risk their careers for a drink or for a night? Now, to further curb this, I also propose that senior leadership do a lot more courtesy patrols in majority of the popular establishments out there.
Well, I mean, I agree with that because it doesn't not cost the government any more money or any less money to do this because it's part of their job. So they should be able to do that. It should be pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
So you're saying that the senior leadership needs to find out where everybody likes to go hang out and do all of that stuff, and then just send like on the weekends, just send like 1 or 2 non-commissioned officers to just go make sure everyone's doing
Right.
what they're supposed to do.
I mean, majority of the soldiers would go to these pubs, and a lot of them would curb their drinking because I don't think anybody would, in the right sense, would drink a lot in front of their NCO. So
are you talking about on pubs or like on installations within post?
I would say
You're talking about off post?
It's off post. Courtesy patrols would happen off post
Okay.
in bars and pubs and so forth. Now, the majority of these installations are located in small towns, so the pubs aren't that big, So take us for example. We're in Fort Drum, so our local little watering hole is Watertown. There's not a lot of pubs up there, and usually we have 1 or 2 TMPs roaming around the night.
Right.
I mean, earlier you were talking about it just being within the limits of the post. Are we
Bro, the policy would be on post itself.
right?
The policy would be like there is no alcohol on post. But what about all the little pubs
Yeah,
outside?
So if you get caught off post,
Drinking,
You're not.
you're not gonna get hit with anything.
Are they just trying to make sure like
You're okay.
You're responsible.
You're
Like,
responsible.
You're not hurting the image of the art. Is that what you're saying?
That is what I'm
Okay.
saying.
it'll just be hard to regulate. In my opinion, that would be really hard to regulate.
It is hard, but I think with the
It's a
right,
good start.
it is a great start. It's a great start to curb a lot of the incidents that happen on base in the barracks, and majority of the incidents do happen in the barracks. So I, for one, would say that this is a good policy that would curb the incidents and minimize a lot of the damages that have already been done to our professional image, and not only physically and mentally. I believe that a lot of underage people will would serve a lot better having this policy in place.
No, I agree. It's a great point you bring up. It's going to be hard to enforce.
I think it's just gonna come with time, like
Yeah.
because as you get used to it, they'll be able to build on the system.
Yeah.
Is that you're just trying to set a foundation, right?
We're trying to set a foundation. We're also trying to explain to these youngsters and everybody else that there's a lot of things you can do rather than drinking. There, we have bars and we have outings and so forth. So with that, I just want you guys to understand that a policy like that is just a small break and a building foundation for a better future, for a better professional image, and a better service members' welfare. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Right.